Hey the internet, just talking about the reviews for Walking Dead Season 2, Telltale's version of Walking Dead anyway. And this is them putting the cover, or at least like them putting Clementine in the main role for our next chapter. And as far as kind of how it has been going, it has been a very good ride with us kind of seeing what happens to Clementine after Lee kind of pass on. And honestly, it kind of has been a pretty good ride so far, with the first two, except for the first two episodes, kind of have you with this group of people in which that, honestly, when you first meet them, you barely like them. Even though it's justified, you still kind of really don't like them all that much. It's not even to the point of that, like, necessarily that they're bad people or anything. It's just a fact of, like, some of them, they kind of come off as a bit more gruff than what you would expect, especially since how our last group kind of carried out. And this is something which does kind of happen within the first two episodes. They do get better at the end of episode 2, but, you know. However, going on from that, though, it is a whole thing of going into episode 3. And most of the problems with episode 3, as Walking Dead is kind of known because they are juggling two projects at the moment, with them being The Wolf Among Us and also, of course, Telltale's Walking Dead. It is the whole thing of, like, a lot of the technical issues, they are heavily present in this one. Pretty much, I do kind of like the fact that they are actually working in the 400 Days characters. However, they don't play as big of a role as what we were kind of led to believe within them bringing those characters to light. So, honestly, there was that. However, with how this is going, the only major problem with this one is the fact that a lot of what is going on, it doesn't necessarily seem to really affect anything that Clementine does, really. I mean, like, there is the whole thing of her trying to find Krista, and, you know, for what happened in the last chapter. I mean, in the last episode. However, for this one, they do seem to worry a bit more of the vague story, and them not necessarily kind of giving us a real goal for this one, or pretty much they kind of don't necessarily spell things out for you, because the same thing could be said for the last one, in which that, like, when they were talking about Carver, they never really kind of gave you any type of speculation upon why Carver really wanted them. They kind of just left that up into the birds all the way up until the very last moments, in which that he kind of met up with Rebecca again, that is the biggest reason why he was out there trying to find them, because, you know, for those of you who did play it, you know why. And that is something which that is kind of a bit of a example of kind of how they kind of have been handling problems so far, is the fact that even in the first one, they still kind of talk about problems and such, but then they talk about problems within a way in which that it's like all this could be solved with just them explaining themselves, but they don't. And that is usually the problem, or at least like that is kind of the vagueness problem which does kind of arise in this. So pretty much, it's not bad. I do kind of agree with, like, some of the reviews so far. They still give them high marks. However, at the same time, it still is something which is like, yeah, man, this is kind of something in which that they need to fix. But that's kind of just something of them trying to build something bigger. So that's pretty much what I got to say about that. What do you guys think about it? Please tell me down there in the comment section. I will catch you on the next John Graves show. So please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I am out.